Okay, everybody, we are back. I'm fairly well rested today, so hopefully I'll be able to do this late night stream correctly for the first time in what's been basically a week. Hello, Kuma. How are you doing this? Well, it's evening over here. It's like 7 p.m., give or take. Let's have a quick look at our map and see what levels we still need to do. Okay, so I know where that one is. The other two I'm not 100% sure of. There are two safes left for us to crack open. One of them is going to be the plans for Panda King's hideout, and the other is going to be something that we have to come back for after World 5 because game design. Tired? I understand that. It's definitely a feeling that I feel quite regularly. Wow, the music got very surprisingly active, really, for this game. Which is usually a little more subtle to go with the themes of stealth. I think this is going to be very much more of a shock and awe type of level, not a lot of sneaking around. But we shall see. It's been a while since I have been this far in the game. Mostly because I am not super great at it. There's probably been a couple of moments during this stream series where that has come through very, very noticeably. Pick that up. Okay, yes, yeah, thankfully we don't take damage from bottomless pits anymore. That was such a great upgrade, because, wow. It comes in handy a lot. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of bottomless pits all across this game. Bask in our mediocrity. Absolutely. That's kind of the way one has to do it, really. This is a fairly simple spotlight pattern that I came dangerously close to still getting seen by, but thankfully, with it just being 2 lamps, that's fine. That's not an issue. Also, I like that these dudes are just up here, and you can very slightly disturb them at worst, and that's it. Just roll into the posts. You bonk them with the stick. I have no idea why this is set up like this, but I don't mind. A neat little set piece. Everybody here is practicing their nunchucks. I guess I said before that, like, there were more Yeti-like enemies around here. I suppose that is not exactly true. They're all just fairly simple monkeys. Nope. Not even a whole lot of, like, greater apes. Just Yetis. Or, wait a sec. Just monkeys, not Yetis. Although I guess, you know, the Yeti is believed to be some sort of a primate by some people. I don't think there's really anything you can do about those. I've never tried jumping at them, though. I guess I can try that in a second. It's not too hard to get back up there. Yeah, see, that just happens. Not really a reason to disturb them except to pick up more coins, which... that seems like a lot of work. And I've gone out of my way for for coins that I don't really need many times in this game. So if I'm saying that seems like a lot of work. Also, there's the physics going a little bit ballistic. I kind of wonder... I don't remember if this is something that I've explained before on the stream, but of course, this game was originally made by the developer Sucker Punch before whatever happened with the ports on later gens, which I think were handled by Sanzaru. And prior to this point, Sucker Punch was known, and not necessarily super well known, but decently so, for a game for the N64 called Rocket Robot on Wheels, which is famous for being one of, if not the first game for a console that used a dedicated physics engine. And the game was like 80% physics puzzles and 3D platforming, and very, very difficult to do anything precisely, but pretty neat. And so I wonder if, to some extent, that massively shadowed a lot of Sucker Punch's accomplishments for many years, and so that's why you end up having the amount of, like, hey, look at these physics in this game, or if maybe I'm just imagining it. Could just be that I'm imagining it, but it seems like if there's going to be any sort of ridiculous theory to it, that'd be one that would make sense. Because if they had sort of a reputation as the console physics people, then why would they not lean into it, I guess? Especially because it's the PS2. That stuff seems pretty impressive. You know, that's something that you can put in a trailer very easily. Like, oh, hey, look at how much stuff we have going on. Isn't this a bigger deal than on the PS1 or other consoles of that generation? And, I mean, I guess sure, but then there's times when it becomes a little bit frustrating, or you get something weird like that chandelier absolutely freaking out. Which I enjoyed, but would probably have been something that I don't know I would have enjoyed as much when I was younger. Other than the amusement, I guess. Thankfully, this platform comes back after we accidentally set it off. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're like almost done with this level. This is a pretty short one, if I recall correctly. And also, judging by the fact that we're like 7 bottles short, I would probably imagine so, right? These up for probably just for some coins. There's the vault. I have probably missed a fair chunk of... Yeah, because there's the key. Alright, so... Bottles. That. This way goes backwards, so if we can get back here... it's time to tour the level for a couple of collectibles. Because as grateful as I am for the bottomless pit safety ability, I kind of wish that we had gotten the blueprints sooner. Because then I could just go into first-person mode and figure out where those are. Okay, I see what's going on here a little bit. There's this whole little side path here that we completely missed out on. But that's only put us up to 21 out of 25 bottles, so we are missing another 4. Which is a very neat even number that could be contained in 2 safes, for example. And we would be able to find that pretty simply, I suppose. In theory. Ooh, did we do this already? No, we did not. This is gonna lead us to another 2 bottles. Alright, so now we gotta find only 2 more. And that could be, well... be lots of places, really. The level may not be that big, but there's still enough space to hide a couple of these bottles, I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. I thought that was a different path for a second. No, that's just the entrance back to the main building that we were seeing there, but it could still be pretty useful to go back there. No secrets this way. Did we go here? Yes. Yes, we did. Just to be sure, double check the wall. Part where we had to stealth past the guard. Checkpoint. I feel like there's some area that we did not explore around here. I just don't know what it is. We can't really get under the ramp or under those floorboards there. So that's not it. Ah, okay, here we go. Safe hidden behind the post. Column, rather. And it is indeed worth 2 bottles, as they usually are. And now, up we go. Those monkeys are starting to sound like they're getting ill. Maybe we bumped them around a little too much and they're not feeling so great. Eh, well. Up we go. Safe. Oh yeah. Safe is all the way at the end, right? It was in the area with the laser field. So we had to turn the alarm off in order to access it, right? Just thinking that's that way I don't completely glance over it, because I could very easily do that. I am not always the most attentive person in the world. There we go. Alright. What you got for us, buddy?
Lucky for you, I versed in chaos theory. Otherwise, this code would have been unsolvable. Input 932.
932. 69%, indeed.
You found the blueprints for the Panda King's lair. I'll upload the data straight into your binocucom.
Yep, nice and simple. They probably didn't feel like adding a little extra dialogue to that one because they were getting pretty far into development. And that'll show us, yep, there you go. Breakable object. Hooray. 2 more keys to go. One of them is regular platformer, one of them is one of the twin stick shooter levels. Done that one already. This is going to be our last... Yeah, this is our last platforming level for a while. Duel by the Dragon. This is, yet again, basically a redux of a level from Chapter 2. I believe I alluded to such earlier. And by earlier, I mean in previous streams. So, anyone who hasn't seen any of those might be a little bit like, what do you mean by earlier? Well... That's what I mean by earlier.
Freeze, Raccoon!
How can I freeze when my heart warms at the very sight of you?
Shut up, Ringtail.
Oh, you again.
Doing here in China, but I'm sure it can't be good for whoever owns this place.
You must only have eyes for me if you're too blind to see what's going on around here.
All I see is a pathetic thief who's escaped justice for far too long.
I'm proud to be a thief, especially when I'm stealing from a vicious extortionist.
Are you not noticing the mass murder?
These quaint
As we've mentioned many times before.
Try to confuse the issue. You criminals are all the same, and none of you can escape justice.
But yes, it is once again an avoid getting shot level. With plenty of bottles for us to pick up along the way. We need 40 in this stage. But as I said, we will not be able to open the vault. However, we're going to try and get all those bottles anyway, just in order to simplify things for the future. Because, hey, I'll come back for it after we beat the game. Why not? Oh, that looked like a path to an actual area. Whoops. Whoops. I am silly. Oh no. Ooh, that was a weird, very loud, low hum I just heard from the other room. God, can I actually get over there now? Am I... I think I can probably, like, make this jump just barely. Not quite. Oh, goodness. I may have to restart this level. Or die, but I don't want to take 3 whole hits. What? This... Or we take a pause? No, maybe there isn't a place where we pause in this level because the chase just keeps going and going and going. I do not remember offhand, and hello Irene, I did notice you in there. Just didn't say anything at first, because... Right now, my way everything is arranged is that... My only chat window is over on the left, because that's where OBS is. on my left screen, and my television is on a small table over to the far right of my desk. So the right-hand screen is in the middle, which is somewhere in my vision range for the left eye, and I just barely can see the very edge of the left screen in the edge of my left eye. It is what you would call not exactly ideal, but I don't want to see the video of my stream while I'm playing this game, because there is a delay between what I'm doing in the game and what is appearing on the display, because my capture device, I guess, like, actually converts the video to... It encodes, basically, as it reaches the computer. So, that's a little bit weird, because I don't get the delay even from the output to my television, only on what's seen on the computer. So if I start looking, well, I mean, first of all, seeing two images of the gameplay is going to throw you off a little bit anyway, but if I'm seeing the one that's 2.5 or 2 seconds or whatever behind at the same time as the one that's on time, it's going to throw me off really badly. Let us finish this level and then go back and get the message about, oh hey, you can't actually use this vault just yet because Bentley needs to learn how to speak owl or something. I think that's actually what it is, so yeah.
Expect it. I'll be there.
I'll grab that in a second. Yeah, at some point I need to look into a capture card or capture device or something that doesn't do stuff like that, so that way I can just have everything hanging out on the same screen.
Unfortunately, this vault code appears to have been written in owl dialect. I won't be able to crack the code until we meet and defeat the bird who created it.
Yep. You can't even attempt to do it yourself if you don't have the solution. So anybody who might have been thinking that at any point, unfortunately, the game is ahead of you on that one. Oh boy, yeah, we've got to... See, aside from the obvious pun, it's even worse because, oh boy, we have to beat the game in order to do that, and once we hit World 5, oh, my happiness level is going to drop very severely. Especially in a few specific levels, but again, we will discuss that as we get there. For now, let's get on our thing, and it's time for some more twin-stick shooter action. This level, Rapid Fire Assault, I remember this one actually being kind of fun. Sound effects aside. Like, it is more manageable, oddly enough, than the one that we had in World 3. If I recall correctly, which it is very likely that I do not. Worse than the Rhythm Boss? Yes. Oh, yes, worse than the Rhythm Boss by a pretty real amount. Because, let me put it this way, at the very least, the controls for the Rhythm Game Boss worked. It was unforgiving, and it was a thing that I was very bad at, but it functioned as intended mostly. I think. However, things get bad. There's a lot of driving segments, we'll put it that way, and I believe you've seen both of the races that we've had in this game, and at least been able to get somewhat of a handle on what a disaster that is. So that's what we're going to be dealing with a couple of times. If those doors could close, that'd be great. Yeah, I was about to say, that's a lot of that clattering in your ears for 1 coin each, but some of those are worth actual coins. Oh, dang it! I was trying there, too. And that's why we don't try on this stream. Never works out for you. I mean... So let's go back and clean up the rest of these barricades to grab a couple more coins, because you know what? We could use 2 charms. And we could use anything that gets us closer to accumulating more extra lives, I suppose. If we really feel as though we do not want to encounter the game over screen that badly. And admittedly, well... why would we want to do that? We can't go back for those. I like that they're shuddering in fear when you get up close to them. As if they can't just, you know, pound their fists up onto your head like they were doing with these sort of catapults that they were using just a second ago. But yeah, look at that. There's the key at the end. We are, like, right here. I don't even know if there's a siege sequence at the end here. I could have sworn there was more inside the temple with the conveyor belt type of stuff going on. But I guess I was wrong. Compare that to the one that we had to face in World 3. And, like, we took 1 hit during this entire level. We didn't even die at any point. We took 1 hit, and honestly, that was a case where I felt like I was a little robbed by game mechanics, basically. And that's about it. That is that much easier than what we were dealing with before. It's astounding to me. But with all 7 keys... let's get ready to take on the boss. We're going off to fight the Panda King himself. in his big statue that's shaped just like him.
I see you carry Kane of notorious Cooper thief clan. Have you come here for revenge? To steal back the Thievius Raccoonus?
That was my plan at first, but now I'm more interested in putting an end to your avalanche extortion racket.
Why should you care if I bury a few worthless village in snow? You are a thief, just like me.
No, that's only half right. I am a thief from a long line of master thieves, while you're just a frustrated firework artist turned homicidal pyromaniac.
Insolent child. You shall pay dearly for your disrespect. Still, to honor your Cooper and
See, the thing that's being not pointed out here is, of course, the fact that the Cooper clan were, they were good guy thieves. They did things that were technically wrong, and yet, it was only to people who deserved it. Basically, what I'm saying is that Sly Cooper is basically a lockpicking YouTuber. So, in this fight, rather uniquely, we actually get to pummel on this guy, but instead of like Raleigh, where you land single hits, or even against Ms. Ruby, here we have to do multiple attacks in order to chip down Buddy Boy's health bar. During each phase, he adds new attacks to his lineup, and honestly, they're all pretty easy to dodge. You dodge his vertical chop, but his low sweep is easy to jump over, and his two attacks on the side of you, that you can just jump over too as well. Or even just have it miss you. Oh, he takes 5, not 4. I wonder what he's pulling out for the 5th one, because so far this has been kind of sad. And yeah, it's that easy. One try. I forgot just how simple of a boss this was.
Sly, I did a cross-analysis of the metal used in that high-tech blasting vehicle, and it turns out it can only be found in one place. The Raccoonus volcano in Russia. That's got to be where we'll find the 5th member of the Fiendish Five. So get
Wait, what blasting vehicle? The
Retrieving the Panda King section of
The
Thievius
scooter?
Raccoonus gave me a chance to learn about my technically minded ancestor, Otto Van Cooper. Not known for his physical dexterity, Otto relied on vehicles to aid him in his criminal endeavors. Armed with his designs, I was sure Murray would be able to make some cool modifications to the team van.
Ah, yes, just what every mom van needs.
Mountain,
A turret sticking out of the top.
thus putting an end to his avalanche protection services and ensuring the safety of mountain villages throughout China. My gang and I took a little time off and did some shopping in Hong Kong. Thoroughly relaxed, we headed home to plan our next move.
Alright. That was a pretty short little bit of wrapping that up. As you can see, we're still short 1 vault, but we will handle that sooner rather than later, hopefully, as we move into Chapter 5.
We were on our way to the Krakkarov volcano in Russia. While looking over what little information I had on the final member of the Fiendish Five, I began to notice something. In the 4 parts of the Thievius Raccoonus recovered so far, several of the pictures depict a shadowy owl-like figure, which looks very similar to the police images of the mysterious clockwork. Is this a strange coincidence, or is there something I'm missing?
Oh boy. Alright, so this chapter, we don't get a world map the way we did in previous.
Hey, Sly! The road to Clockwork's fortress is blocked. Do me a favor and shoot out that lock for me, would you, pal?
And yep, we got a turret on wheels.
Check out all those mines. Think you can blow them away and clear a safe path for
Hold the square button to shoot. Left stick to move the reticle. The really weird looking reticle. That's a design choice. Not what I would call a good one, but a design choice nevertheless.
Bingo! My scanners indicate the clockwork is holed up in that owl-shaped tower.
First things first, we've got hostile robo-falcons at 12 o'clock, Sly.
That's no tower, it's a giant death ray! Sly, take out those rocks or we're in trouble!
And yeah, of course, this level is big pain in the butt. Because there is a lot to deal with over a pretty sizable length of level. And you are limited in terms of your health. And you got to clear out certain obstacles fast to start dealing with the next ones. Oh boy, we got pretty close to getting screwed over by that mine. These rocks take multiple hits, and they appear to be really bad at registering getting hit at all. So we're starting over here with no health. We just have to pull this off and not suck at it, basically. It's gonna be rough because controlling this is not super great. The controls on the left stick are too damn sensitive for this stuff. And with no ability to lock onto things, you just gotta get it right. Fuck. Come on! I was pointing right at the thing several times. Sheesh. And let me tell you, this is not the worst of it. Just to put that out there right now, because this is already pretty frustrating of a level. And, you know, we haven't gotten that deep into this shit either. I'm pretty sure it goes on a good chunk longer than what we've seen. But there are worse levels just in general that we will see at some point in the... Yeah, I know about the rocks. I was informed about those before. Fuck! Got hit by the one that was off screen somehow because... Well, here's the thing. That's all, like, scripted motion. There's no way to stop the van or anything like that, so... You know, despite the fact that it was out of our perception, it still somehow clipped our very front of our bumper. Can't shoot the rocks before they start moving. That's... Or can I? Just a second here.
Heads up! The robo-falcons are back!
Of course, a really good transition there to make things frustrating. Did we get all the mines? Yes. Unfortunately, I'm kind of concerned about the gun, like, blocking the damn things here. Get too close. Alright. Oh, hey. That's actually it for the level. I thought it was much longer than that.
Tall enough for the turret to make it all the way through.
Alright, this level.
We've got to get through that security door on the
This one.
The only way to unlock it is to analyze at least 60 of those hanging computers.
Would have been easy to get at them if Murray hadn't thrashed our new turret.
Yeah, won't be a problem. I can hack the computer's connection coupling so they'll fall to the ground. Then Murray will have to run over them with the van.
Okay,
Oh boy, I forgot that this was this soon into things.
square button. If anyone tries to keep you from the
Yep, we drive around, we get a battering ram to deal with this. Then we gotta smash 60 of these televisions. And we have to make sure that these stupid lava slugs, you know, Slugma, the worst fucking Pokemon ever, we have to make sure that they don't get 60 of these TVs before we do for some reason. And you can see that this is just the worst. You can see that when they're dead and they're flying, you may have just caught that just then, that they still count as effectively being active and can destroy televisions from your total, causing you to not be able to get them. I don't understand why this level is like this in terms of, like, from a plot perspective. Also, the other problem... the turret! Can't it go back down into the van? Like, they just illustrated in the illustrated cutscene of it popping up. Can't it go back down? Why? Sly, Murray didn't break the turret. Your stupid ass negligence did. Also, yeah, have a nice night, Kuma. Go get some good sleep. I'm in the part of things that is just kind of the worst part of the entire game. And like you can see that one of the big problems is that all this stuff is happening well outside of our vision range. There is no way that you can pay attention to all of this. This level design, this is, nobody playtested this. I am convinced of it. There's gonna be a part of the credits. They're gonna name drop some people who playtested. They're all made up. There is no fucking way that anyone possibly playtested this. There is no goddamn way. Like, it's not possible. It did not happen. It's a lie. It is a deception that was put into the credits so that way people who write about video games could look at it and be like, oh, no, everything's fine. They playtested it. They did not. There is no way. I do not believe it. I could get, you know, a confirmation from these people that they existed, and I'd be like, you're full of shit. I'm tripping on something. I don't even use drugs, and I'd be like, am I high right now? Am I hallucinating that these people exist? I could, you know, speak to the president of Sucker Punch Productions, and I'd be like, did people actually playtest this, or did you make it up? And they'd be like, no, they're real. We brought all of them with, and I'd just be like, fuck you. You hired these people. You know, where's your Fiverr account, motherfucker? I want to know. I want to know where these paid actors came from to fake that they playtested Sly Cooper. That motherfucker is clearly 17 years old. You're kidding me. That this didn't happen. Is this going to be a case... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, see, the gap is closing. I am genuinely curious now if this is going to prove to be a case like that one boss in Wrath of Cortex that I couldn't beat before the game gave up the ghost on emulator. Is it going to be a case like that boss where it turns out that, oh, hey, firing your weapon slows you down, except that you cannot notice it because of the way the graphics look, i.e. very, very dated. It's starting to feel like the best way to do this is just to get good RNG. Also, hey, look, that was... See? Yet again! While the corpse of the fucking thing was flying through the air, it smashed one of the computers, and it counted for them. And I didn't get it, and it's a race to see which one of us gets 60 more. It's not even like, oh, hey, here's a best out of... Well, I mean, I guess it's technically best out of 120. But still, so bad. So unbelievably bad. And the worst part is that what I've described to you is so unbelievably moronic that even with video proof of it happening, I feel like I can't actually say it to anybody. Like, if I were to be posting about this on, you know, Reddit or Twitter or whatever, I'd get people who would be like, keep mauling, you stupid fucking loser. Look at the nerd who doesn't know how to play video games and doesn't want to accept it. And, you know, depending on which website, there'd be slurs involved because fucking internet is like this. And yeah. Sonic 06 had playtesters and they were fired. I believe I knew that, but I'm not 100% sure if I actually knew that. It's one of those things that's like, did I hear that, or am I just hearing it now and going like, yeah, that sounds about right to me, because Sonic 06 was... Well, Sonic 06 had layers of really the same disaster applied to it in a lot of ways. Oh, Sega. Sega, what a company. What a company. You ever just think about how badly Sega destroyed every single one of its most infamous franchises that were, you know, the things that helped it shape video games, really. And now what do they got? Yakuza. And no offense to Yakuza or to its fans. Yakuza is a great series, and I mean, if you love it, good. It's a good series. But also, like, wow, they managed to destroy their own legacy so fucking badly over the years. I mean, I guess technically the Phantasy Star franchise does still exist. Phantasy Star Online 2 makes them a good amount of money, I'm pretty sure, from all the microtransactions. I mean, it sure seems to still be popular. They actually decided to not skip out on localizing New Genesis. In fact, I'm pretty sure it even had English voice... Yeah, it had English voice acting. It continues to have English voice acting, as far as I know. I haven't played PSO New Genesis in a while. basically, I went back to it briefly once the Braver update came out, and I was like, I cannot get into this very much. And the game is so low on, like, story content or anything, and the same few areas, fairly repetitive enemies, which I know is kind of buck wild to say considering, well, the original PSO didn't have much, and I didn't explore all of PSO 2 either, and even then, a lot of that, the story content was, you know, didn't add a ton more areas after a point, but it still is a little bit, God, let me pause for a second to try and say it. It felt very underwhelming is what I guess I'm getting at. I was waiting for the bouncer class to come back, so now that that's a thing, maybe I will peer into New Genesis again. I did, in fact, re-download PSO2 recently for the purposes of grabbing some content for an upcoming video, for multiple upcoming videos, in fact. I'm going to turn into one of those people and, you know, obsess over one thing, and I'm going to probably annoy the shit out of my, you know, my very few subs and have people be like, it's not that big of a deal, shut up. Anyway, we finally got the RNG that we needed for this. I'm pretty sure we've been in this level for like 10 minutes. And yeah, I mean, I guess to a point, yeah, there is a lot of repetition just in RPGs inherently. But it's like, it's more than usual, and of course, being an MMO, there's a fairly large density of enemies that you can be dealing with at a time. You know, New Genesis, I didn't have any real... I had a reasonable amount of situations, rather, where I was fighting like 10 enemies at a time, or more. And that's also been very common in vanilla PSO2 and in PSO1. So...
Dude, a spire jump here, a rail slide there. I've done this a million times.
Yeah, I mean, it just is, like, particularly so because there's very little to New Genesis at this point. That it really did kind of make me go, oh boy, it's the same content over again. These fights aren't actually... I did not find any of the raids or anything to be super fun either, so that was also just like they didn't have enough going on. That type of way is the issue. Because, I mean, yeah, any raid battle is probably going to be a little bit padded in some regards in an MMO. But even then, it's like, hey, here's a very long raid battle with no mechanics. And yeah, we're taking this area real slowly because I don't want to set off the alarms. That would suck. Oh, well, I guess we're up some kind of creek. Oh well, we were right at the end anyway, and hey, we lost a hit, big deal. I'm pretty sure the next area charms don't really factor into it whatsoever. Basically, yeah, my feelings about PSO2's raid battle stuff were basically, it's like, hey, here's multiple variations of Cape Westwind, except they're 10 times longer if you're a 14 person.
Empathy has always been the downfall of the Cooper clan.
I knew this was a trap. Looks like I'm going to have to do some fast and furious hacking to shut down that gas before Sly's brain is turned to cheese.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's already... Oh.
Haven't had to do this in a while. Okay, I use the left analog stick to steer.
Yeah, this is basically...
To unleash my hacker code. Those green data packets need to be destroyed if I'm gonna get at the yellow security code.
This is a very similar concept to all the other twin-stick shooters, except that Bentley has, like, an actual health meter.
Well, looks like I triggered one of Clockwork's security algorithms. Stay sharp, Bentley.
That said... It's very easy to get, you know, snowball affected here, if I recall correctly. Although, again, it has been a bit of a while. And yeah, the security robots can be kind of a pain. The owl things. And we got to get 13 of these data disks. That is rough. It is going to be a bit of a grind. And of course, every time we say try again, we have to restart, because of course we do. This might take a bit of me trying to get good and then failing. Maybe there is... Well... Yeah, because, like, we got revived last time with 3 health after we took a hit, so maybe... Maybe there actually is something to those charms, so we lost that the last time and it was probably kind of a problem, but we wasted it basically just learning this, so... Fuck! Rude! I got comboed. And yeah, unfortunately, we can bounce the yellow thing around. We can bounce that floppy disk around, which, incidentally, that's shaped like a... Well... No, I guess it is. It could be a 3.5 inch, too. I was gonna say, it distinctly looks like a 5 1/4. But that, to me, is mostly because it's a very simple, you know, one color plus transparency sprite / texture. So it doesn't look like it has the metallic shield on it that every 3.5 inch disc that I've ever seen in my entire life had. So it kind of just looks like, hey, it's the unified plastic sleeve of a 5 1/4. Reminds me, at some point I need to... Damn it! At some point I need to remember to order those single copies of Blue Monday. Because I've been meaning to grab a couple copies of that for... Again, for a future video. For a thing in the background more than anything. It's not like, hey, I need to grab this to be able to listen to Blue Monday. It's not exactly a rare song or any fucking thing. I'm still alive for some reason? Okay. Sure. Don't know why, but okay. If the game feels like pretending to take a little bit of mercy on me. Alright. Only 8 more to go. We're not even... No, we are halfway there. Fuck. Fuck you. Oh. Okay, we did have a charm. We just couldn't see it before. And that'll give us a little more collision insurance. I wish there was some way to turn these things off. For at least a little bit. one more to go. Woo! That charm saved our bacon. No code can stand before you, except for that last one in World 4, you dingleberry.
I was wrong about you. Break me out of this force field by smashing its base, and I'll make it up to you somehow.
Covering fire? I mean, that works. Although the fact that you didn't get hurt by that at all, that's kind of impressive. Excuse me. Also, I like the fact that the coins now have Sly's face on them. Looks like Kid Sly, but still.
Behind bars, but when you get a chance to leave me in a cage, you set me free. Why?
Carmelita, we may be on opposite sides of the law, but you're not my enemy. Now, the homicidal robotic owl that built this death ray and nearly gassed us to death, that guy's on my list.
I see your point. All right. Until Clockwork and his evil schemes are destroyed, I suggest we work together.
Together at last.
Oh, we got our stick yoinked.
Huh, wait, I need that cane. It's been in my family for generations.
Don't worry, Ringtail. I'll cover you while you get it back. If you can, make your way to the top of the death ray. I stashed my jetpack there before Clockwork nabbed me.
Now that we're a team and all, I hate to leave your side.
Hold on. This truce is only temporary. Once we beat Clockwork, I'm coming after you.
Jetpack, though, I...
Well, maybe I'll give you a 10-second head start.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're in a turret, and... at the very least, she seems to have gained some sort of rapid-fire ability. Those fucking lava slugs come out of nowhere. That's pretty gross how fast those bastards move. That's like, hey, you've really got to be ready for this entire level. I have a feeling that we're going to get killed multiple times just trying to get through this. Well, again, very specifically by things like that, with these things just coming out of, you know, BF nowhere. Alright, I'm surprised we managed to survive that. You may want to stand back for that. Oh, it's fine. Okay, sure. Thanks. Again, thing I can't see. Incidentally, judging by the fact that the reticle is not turning red at any point, I think that there's no friendly... Fuck off! Are you kidding me? Wow, okay. Fucking rude. Anyway. The reticle is not turning red at any point, so I'm assuming that there's actually no friendly fire here. Not that I really want to chance it, but I know it's a thing in the other turret levels, because, again, this game hates you if you play it. Get! Wow, okay, I definitely hit that thing multiple times, and it definitely responded. It just didn't respond by doing what it was actually supposed to, which is dying, but, you know. And this game hates the people who play it, as we've been over before. Oh, I don't... Again, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Roll back the tape. I hit that thing before it... I mean, these turret sections are already not good, so let's make them let's put even less effort into it, right? Hey, it's nearly the end of the project. Nobody's gonna get this far. Yeah, this absolutely 100% correct. This level does suck. This is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the absolute worst in the entire game. Also, I can now see the little bits of blue particle effect. Okay, yeah, they take multiple hits for some reason. Like, what the hell? The other ones didn't. Can I get a little bit of consistency here?
Nice job, Raccoon.
Alright, so now should be back to just pure platforming.
Where's Carmelita's jetpack? Right where she said it would be. The magnetronic support field for the death ray got destroyed as you were making a run for your cane. You'd better hurry. This whole thing is about to fall apart.
I'm on it.
Okay, so that part is all completely cutscene guided, which is weird.
It's thinking fast. Climb, Sly, climb.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far, but at the very least, Super Mario 64 did not have turrets that you... Well, I mean, I guess the cannons existed, but outside of that... Also, don't jump those things! That was just me being an idiot. That was like a weird instinct of, oh hey, you should jump the weird node on the rail. Because I'm thinking of something from, what, probably Ratchet and Clank? That's like that. Oh, the Ratchet and Clank games are pretty good. Maybe I should play one of those sometime soon. I do enjoy the first three of those at least on the PS3. Or PS2. Though, I guess they are available on PS3 now, right? The old Ratchet and Clank series. I played Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time on the PS3, and they were okay games. Although I did think that there was a little too much, like, just numeric inflation in, I think, Tools of Destruction. Minor thing to complain about, but, you know, watching the numbers go up to a certain extent does kind of start eventually getting like, okay, you're overdoing it. Oh god, we are not gonna fucking make it. Shh. We did a certain part too slowly here. Yeah, the first three on PS2 were all quite good games. I played Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time on PS3. I never got around to playing Quest for Booty because that was at a period where I just didn't actually like do anything in terms of digital purchases on PS3 until eventually I broke down and started doing it when All-Star Battle did not get a physical release here in the States. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, pardon me. Because I do enjoy JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I was really looking forward to that, and they decided, oh hey, we're not going to release this copy of it. That was a very long-reaching force field. I think somebody didn't give this thing a properly angled hitbox. That was weird. And Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time were fine games, not as good as the ones on PS2 in my opinion, but they were perfectly acceptable. Why are you not getting on the damn rail, you stupid butt? That was weird. Fine games, not as good as the ones on the PS2, but they were fine. I don't think the plot worked very well, but that was just me playing that badly. I don't think the plot worked very well, and it's like, oh hey, you're talking about plot in a Ratchet and Clank game. How many question marks are coming out of this person's head at that? Yes. I mean, it's there, so you may as well. If they're going to make it a thing that, you know, exists, that's my fault. Why'd I press X? It's because my thumb was in the wrong place. And again, don't stop for that, idiot. Take me a bit of a moment here. So I tend to be very harshly critical of games that are mostly science fiction that try to incorporate fantasy elements, because very often it does not work very well. Meanwhile, the other way around seems to often be just fine. Oh, you jerk. Really? That time I didn't make it? Okay. The other way around tends to, I feel, work out okay more often than not, where it's fantasy with, you know, science fiction elements, because I don't know, maybe it's just like differing expectations between the two sort of genres. It is very hard to explain, and I'm sure that no matter what explanation I could come up with, it would sound a little bit silly. But for me, for example, I thought that it was a serious low point of the Mega Man Battle Network franchise, which is a series that I really love, even among Mega Man stuff in general. In Battle Network 5 and such, when they had basically where they were just like, oh, by the way, souls and what is basically magic. Probably because explaining magical things in terms of science doesn't always work as well as explaining scientific things in terms of magic.
Sly, behind you!
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always. So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting the day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missiles don't hurt him but seem to create holes in his armor. Shoot into the gaps I create!
Mate, you've basically just said that you fail constantly. Perfection my ass.
You're the weakest Cooper I've yet seen.
Anyway, one, those are decidedly not holes that are created there. And two, Yes, this is a case where you steer and aim with the one stick instead of... I mean, they've had twin stick mechanics at multiple points in this game, and now they're gonna be like, hey, we're going to do this badly instead. You know, not a game designer, as I say all the time about anything like this. I do not necessarily understand the whys and wherefores of why someone would do something like this, but I definitely know when it sucks. And I can and will call it out at that point. And of course, by the way, yes, second form. That was too easy otherwise.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious big...
It's because he hid!
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus...
He was in a cupboard, remember?
Six great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper.
He could very easily have just not seen the...
I'll finish you like I finished your father. And the Cooper line will be erased, and the only master thief will be Clockwork.
Anyway. Fly through the rings. Shoot the parts that get electrified. Just what this game needed. Superman 64 elements, right? That's a joke, but I'm going to say it every time rings are flown through in, like, any game.
My skills are superior.
And yeah, if we die in the second form, we get kicked back to the first one. Which is unfortunate because that's, again, not great game design, but we've said that before. Alright, we're into phase... Target 3, rather. Alright, now, shoot his wings. While his shots are being constantly blocked by his body. DK64 is a mistake all around, so yeah.
You can't dodge me forever.
That said, I did kind of appreciate the absurd nonsense that you get for the 101% ending. Just by virtue of being, like, really, really dumb. Aww. I screwed that up. Yeah, fair point. The DK rap is, like, legitimately a lot of fun. And Lanky Kong, I think Lanky Kong actually got into one of the DKC Returns games. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that to be the case. I have no idea what was up with Tiny Kong existing, though. Like, can somebody explain to me why they could not just reuse Dixie Kong? Because Tiny Kong really is just low-budget Dixie Kong.
I've analyzed Clockwork's attack pattern. Fly through the center of the ring charges to avoid their radial blast.
Yes, I've been over that already. I know that I haven't always succeeded at that on here. I was not moving down.
My intellect is refined. My experience is greater.
Also, yes, of course, by the way, the vertical control is inverted on the jetpacks, which is not great. I'm kind of want to look up who the voice actor is for Clockwork here, because like immediately mentally I'm just going like, that kind of sounds like, it kind of sounds like Tony Todd a little bit, but I highly doubt it's Tony Todd. Like, that, there's no fucking way that it's someone who's like an established not voice actor. Not in the early 2000s. And nowadays they're basically trying to eliminate the concept of voice acting entirely and replace it all with Chris Pratt, but back in the 2000s, voice acting was like an actual thing. I guess I could look it up when we hit the ending, because I'm pretty sure this...
Now's your only chance, Sly! You've got to get to his head and destroy it before his auto-reconstruct circuit.
I am.
Ah, that was good. I'm going to call that one a failure of depth perception on my part. Meanwhile, I'm over here dodging this dude's wave busters. Oh god, that... I fucked that up real bad. Kevin Blackton. Okay. Kevin Blackton voiced Mugshot as well, and I believe he's dead. Because I remember running into that one when, again, I was doing a little bit of research, putting something together for a script for a video that I will probably be working on sometime next year. So, I mean, good on the guy for being a decent voice actor while he was still alive. Obviously, nowadays, that's going to be a little bit hard. Also, that's my fault. I deserve that. I played that real badly.
My intellect is refined. My experience is greater.
Go back in the lava. Please, let's make this short after the dodge stuff section. And 3 forms for a final boss. They definitely, they did not skimp out on this one. I'll give them points for that, but like we said before, a couple of times? Okay, I was holding left on the stick and it didn't send me anywhere. But also, to be fair, I didn't really even realize that I had actually latched on there properly for a second, because my approach was terrible. Let's get back to butt view here. Alright, and...
You cannot escape me.
Alright. And we got a hit still, so this should be a little bit harder for us to screw up in theory. Right up until that proves to not be true.
I am. Blue 7. Flowers. Never.
Yep.
Slow versions. Lava 2.
Where do I go next after this? Fuck, that's a problem.
I will.
God, this is a long, long little assault course they're throwing at us here.
You're the weakest Cooper I get. You can't dodge me forever.
Fuck. I screwed that up.
You cannot escape me. My skills are superior. I am. Blue 7.
Ah! Fuck.
Flowers.
I screwed that up real bad.
My skills are superior.
If we get that second hit, that would make things easier, but I don't know if we have it or not, because it could just be lighting. I think we have it now, but I could be wrong. I think after a point, the game does, of you failing badly enough, the game's rubber banding does give you a gold charm to start with. Yeah, I saw the yellow particle effects.
My intellect
the color of those would not betray me. Probably. Because those should be unaffected by lighting. So yeah, we've got 2 hits now, which is great because that platforming section where you're being shot at with the electric blasts absolutely causes me a lot of trouble. I mean, the rest of this fight is now becoming super easy to me to figure out. That said, I took a hit the last time during phase 1 because, you know, I'm not always good at this. Even if I know how to do it, it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to pull it off.
You're the weakest Cooper I've yet encountered. I am. Seven. Flowers. Never. Lava two.
Oh, wow, that is some tall hit to... Wow, did I get screwed there? Like, you have got to be kidding me. I got knocked into the lava, and you're supposed to get free recovery from that when that happens, but apparently not, because the game was just like, hey, by the way, that's it, you lose now. At least I do know where to go this time, so I've got that going for me. You take some actual hits, buddy. Am I... Oh, God, I think I took a hit that I didn't actually see. Yeah, I got shot at least once by something I didn't see where it was.
You're the weakest Cooper I've yet encountered. You cannot escape me.
And on top of that, I kind of feel like we got lasered by something that we were way above. So that's pretty cheap of the game on that part, too.
I am. Seven. Flowers. Never. Lava two. Lay.
Get on the thing.
Feet together. I will live. Immortal. Redirect.
The whole ground disappeared there. That's not great.
My intellect is refined. My experience is greater. My skills are superior.
Okay, I think we managed to remain with 2 hits intact. Yeah, that looks to be the case. Phase 2 of the fight is probably easier than Phase 1. I mean, this attack pattern... Like, I think it takes until the last hit for him to change it.
You can't dodge me forever.
And even then, it's super easy, except for right there when I forget how to operate the up and down on the thing.
You cannot escape me.
Either way, I did it again! Ugh. Although I know that if I go and try to switch it, assuming that's even an option, I'll just start screwing it up, which... Honestly, just...
You're the weakest Hoover I've yet encountered.
I don't like the fact that it's like, hey, here's... I was about to do it again, but I managed to save it, and then I died anyway. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. Yeah, this... I need to really emphasize this controls like dog shit. First of all, there is no reason why your aiming reticle and your position should be bound to the same key by the, you know, key being kind of not really the right word when it's a control stick or, you know, anything on a controller, but still bound to the same part of the controller. And 2, you probably should not have the vertical inversion when you're moving up and down in a 2D plane. Because this is a 2-dimensional fight. It's a 2-dimensional fight. What else do you want from me? This is 2D gameplay. There is no depth for you to be concerned about. You cannot move closer or further away from the big, stupid metal bird.
You cannot escape me.
Well, yeah, Star Fox 64, you're also moving into the screen,
I am.
and I think that adds something to it, and
7. Flowers.
that, and you're not shooting straight forward constantly. Shit. You know, in Star Fox 64, when you when you move the stick to aim, you're tipping your aim, and it's temporary. And
I will become.
It simply operates differently from how this jetpack operates. Also, we still touched that laser, even though I was trying to dodge it. I didn't do very well, basically. Fuck you. Where do I go? Where do I go? Do I have to grab onto something that I can't see that I can grab onto it? Because this fight is probably throwing a little too much at you. And I mean, okay, it's a final boss, but also... This is one of the problems of the lack of any sort of indicator particles on things you can climb, as opposed to anything else that you can, you know, use your cool stuff button for. That's a little appropriate right now when we're surrounded by lava. How's it going, Lethal? I hope you're having a nice evening as we are fighting against the final boss of this game. And it's been quite a ride, quite a frustrating one at times, but it's generally quite a ride. Stay on target, come on.
My intellect is refined. My experience is greater.
Wait, is there some RNG to which order he shoots the rings in? Because it seems like there is, because he just did the same pattern 4 times in a row during that version of the fight. That's very weird if so. And it's a thing I've never noticed before. Eggs, get off the post. Alright, now remember that we can stand on these. And that's how we're going to avoid tripping the alarm the first time. Whoa! Though, even saying that, we came pretty damn close, did we not? We sure did. And we landed on that. Fuck. Okay, so phase 3 is really just you do the platforming, you smack B. You smack square a bunch of times.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus from Clockwork's claw.
Wow, thanks, Lethal.
Member of the Fiendish Five.
Although, I mean,
Molly,
you're not entirely wrong.
Mugshot, Ms. Ruby, the Panda King, and finally Clockwork. I'd beaten them all one by one and reclaimed my birthright. Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, yet they stuck with me through it all. Murray, boy, it took a lot of guts for him to get out in the field with me. I know he was scared, but he's got more heart than anyone I've ever known. And thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris. A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends. Who could ever forget the lovely Carmelita? Looks like we're not going to be friends anymore. Now that Clockwork's death ray is out of commission, we're back to playing cops and robbers.
Murray's screaming in the
I
background.
thought for sure she was going to slap the handcuffs on me right then and there. But instead, she was true to her word and gave me that 10-second head start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, he's fast. 1 second, huh?
I felt bad leaving her stranded on that giant rock, but I knew it wouldn't be long before we'd see each other again.
I got a question. Where is that? Is that still inside of the volcano base that's collapsing? Because if so, dick move, Sly. Dick fucking move, buddy. Anyway, we are not 100% done with Sly Cooper for this stream. We got a little bit more stuff to do, and I guess I can show off a little bit of our bonus that we have access to now that we've beaten the game. At least I'm pretty sure we don't unlock time trials. Oh, oops, I spoiled it until after we beat the game. But so I guess I'll give my overall opinion here about this game and say that it's very rough around the edges in a lot of places, but overall I still kind of like it. For the first 4 worlds, I would say that it's pretty good, and then World 5 things kind of get torpedoed by a few very specific levels that are like, wow, I cannot believe that I had a 100% save file on this memory card at any point. Honestly, why'd I delete that? I should have switched to a different memory card. Whatever. Too late now. And I will say, so this game, of course, spawned a whole franchise of at least 4 games, not counting remakes. And I have played part of Sly 2, Honor Among Thieves. Or no, it's Band of Thieves, pardon me. Honor Among Thieves is number 3. But I did not finish it. I got like halfway through the game and set it down. I think I rented it first, and I only got about half of the game done the first go-around.
Raccoonus isn't fully restored. You're gonna have to go back and unlock all the vaults to find the pages you're missing.
And so, yeah.
A friend of mine in Japan just sent me this really cool movie. And guess what? It's all about us.
Oh, are we getting, Oh, okay, so we get just a straight-up anime version of the first cutscene. That's actually kind of cool. I don't know if the whole game in Japan was like this or not. If so, that's kind of nice that they did a whole new set of cutscenes for it. But of course, I'm going to talk over it because, you know, English language stream and all, so in theory, I'm making the assumption that it's not useful for you to hear it in a different language. Maybe he's saying something completely different and I don't know. And yeah, so I didn't finish Sly 2 because I rented it, and I got about halfway through, and the game was kind of rough. Like, not like kind of rough as in the game was clunky or anything, although I'm sure that if I went back to it in some ways, I would notice it was not perfect, basically, but I seem to recall it played better, and the mechanics were overall expanded, and you could play as Bentley and Murray out in the regular world, in the platforming stuff. And I may have to go through and replay that at some point. It was probably a slightly better game than this one. Certainly, I think certain mechanics just work better. And the one main thing that I remember about it is that they introduce another member of Interpol, and from what I read, at the end of the game, she gets possessed by clockwork after taking the parts of the robot owl. So I guess if anyone out there is looking for a VTuber persona, pardon me, it would help my execution a little bit if I said things properly. If anyone out there is looking for a VTuber persona, I think slowly being possessed by a robotic owl hellbent on revenge is probably not a bad one. Now, let's go and get that one last vault that we didn't pick up before, because the game didn't want us to. And that would be in this level, so we're going to have to go through, like, at least the entire, I think basically the entire chase. Which is a little unfortunate, but, you know, what can you do? Get back up there, buddy. Come on. You know better than that, probably.
Raccoon.
How can I freeze?
Oh, I can't skip the cutscenes that I've seen already because I beat the level.
I don't know what you're doing here in
Well,
China, but I'm sure it can't be
enjoy some accents!
If you're too blind to see what's going on around here.
All I see is a pathetic thief who's escaped justice for far too long.
I'm proud to be a thief, especially when I'm stealing from a vicious extortionist like the Panda King. Open your eyes, detective. These quaint temples are a front for an illegal explosives factory.
Don't try to confuse the issue. You criminals are all the same. and
What can
none
you
of
do?
escape
Better.
justice.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, we're getting that 10-second head start because I admit I was looking at Discord. And I'll take some free health because why not? That's why. I was a little early. Oh, right, we have to swing all the way over there. Right. Whoops. Almost there, I think. I don't remember if you mentioned that either, Irene. Yeah, morbidly let's right. Oh, now that's just rude what you did there, nerd. That's right, I'm calling you a nerd too, Carmelita Fox. Because some reason. Oh, we're getting sent. Yeah. Every time we screw up this part, we get sent all the way back to the start of that area. It turns out that there's a special trick to it, which is just go as fast as possible. Just like Sonic, we gotta go fast. Now we run backwards. Oh, they probably said it's somebody, because I don't remember if it was here, though. Hey, don't... It warped me back here, by the way, after I started going the other direction. That way, it's making me go around the warp point that I was trying to avoid having to potentially, you know, make sure I don't walk into.
Multiple blood vessels burst in my brain while figuring this out. The code had better be 231.
231, huh? Y'all remember Ocarina of Time? I sure do.
Amazing! Colonel Reed Cooper's time stopper technique. Press the triangle button and execute a flashbang that will stun all guards in the world for a few seconds. I can see how this might be useful and entertaining too.
Oh, sure, we get this at the very end of the game, right when it's barely a concern, huh?
At long last, the Thievius Raccoonus restored to its original state. The first time I held the whole thing under my arm since I was 8 years old. The same weight that all my ancestors had felt beneath their arms as they had passed it on. Although, while other family members may have been great thieves, they all inherited the book. I got a chance to earn it. I had taken down the Fiendish Five, having used the moves my ancestors taught me, and become a master thief along the way. The time had come for me to chronicle my own adventures into the great book. This is gonna be fun.
Barry's seen these credits.
You've done it, Sly! The Thievius Raccoonus is complete! Now, try beating all the Master Thief sprints to unlock the designer's commentary. Once you've unlocked them all, I've got a special behind-the-scenes movie to show you.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. Now he tells us about our time trials. So, I guess we can at least do a little bit of a showing off of some of those real quick. And by real quick, I mean, wow, I've still got like an hour left of my usual stream allocation to go. And that's what the stun move looks like for anyone who was curious. Of course, I didn't try it near anybody, so you didn't see, Oh. The clock's timeout. I did not realize that. Well, that's okay. We should be able to just go back in and... Although it's probably going to put us at the end of the level. Yeah, it's putting us at the end of the level. That's a problem. What if we try entering from the map? There we go. Now we can have a chance to actually try to do this. We have a minute 17 to get to the end here. No need to concern ourselves with anything except for just going fast. And of course, physics, because, you know, we've been over that before. Dang it. Fuck. We were pretty close, though, so... I mean, not bad all considered, but let's give this another shot. Again, no, I'm not going to do all of these, but I may as well show it off at least somewhat, because, well, again, it's a game feature. I do try to at least show off most things in a game, or at least a rough idea as to what features it has when I stream it, especially if I do a full playthrough of the whole story. Yeah, we didn't quite make that. Damn it. Yeah, these are pretty rough. I will say that. I am nowhere near a position where I don't have the touch anymore. We'll put it that way. I used to be sort of okay at these, I'm sure. I mean, again, I have 100% file on this memory card. So, I must have been okay at these. But not so much anymore, apparently. Unfortunate. But on the upside, Bentley did already spoil what we get for getting all of them, which really does contribute to the sort of raw feeling of this game in a lot of ways of like, this is just sort of very unpolished. But yeah, if you want developer commentary on this game, you know, so we can find out if they fired the playtesters or not, and if you want a behind-the-scenes featurette, you can go through this entire game and beat all of the time trials, all, I believe it's 19, and that will unlock that for you. On the other hand, I will not be doing that. We're going to go through and we're going to count how many it is, though. We're going to see that it is indeed 19. And there's nothing you can do in the old, that chapter. Nothing to do in Chapter 5. Unless you really want to replay those levels for some reason, you very, very silly person.